What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Poseidon. His name is Murad. Murad the fourth Murad ever. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Odin. His name is I Bring Life, also known as Shelty. We saw one game between these two, and I thought, you know what? Let's show a second game nonetheless. We've got an Odin versus Poseidon matchup. We do see this matchup fairly regularly because it's a very, very fun matchup to watch. Lots of chaos here. We are seeing the old Sark going to be scouting around, trying to find as many hurtables as he possibly can. This is actually really, really important in this map because the map can oftentimes have some really, really awkward hunt to gather. It's very difficult to wall it in. You get potentially, sometimes you only get 2 hunt spawns, which is the case in this map with the caribou over here, the walrus over here. And we are actually seeing some of that scouting action happening here by Murad. He's going to be attempting to block these goats from coming back in. And meanwhile, Olfsark still scouting around, looking for more things to grab on this map. Unfortunately, he didn't just run this full circle around the map. I feel like there might be a world where going on Frozen Waste, going immediate second Ulfsark, and just sending the first one all the way around the map, or maybe not immediate second Ulfsark, but just getting a second Ulfsark before the house, throwing the house down, and having that first Ulfsark try and grab all of the goat could be a really, really good way to play this. Murad, on the other hand, he's still scouting out the map. He's going to have plenty of hunt in his base. He's got the lure. He's got tons of caribou. So he's going to be able to get a fairly decent classical age if he wants to, and put some very, very strong pressure on now. Second thing to note, this is Frozen Wastes. Frozen Wastes has 2 different types of gold mine spawns. You can have 1 medium gold mine or 2 medium gold mine. So this one is the 2 medium gold mine, the 1 medium gold mine spawn. And beyond that, you see these gold mines over here. There's always spawning around the outsides of the map. So you effectively always know where the gold mines are. And as that's the case, you have to be aggressive on this map. There is no room to play defensive here. So defensive civilizations on Frozen Wastes generally have a very, very difficult time here, which is why this map is really, really fun for Norse players, Poseidon, Zeus, and really, really not fun for your Egyptians, and maybe even like a Thor. Maybe some like Hades shenanigans, not the happiest map for him either. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You see the temple coming up. Shelty going to be advancing very, very soon. Murad going to be advancing as well. He might decide to go for an early Theseus here. I do think that the early Theseus is not the smartest way to go, as we're seeing Hermes coming through. The reason being is, generally speaking, these villagers will be able to just simply leave. If they're hunting out in the middle of the map, they will be able to simply just leave and come back over here and eat these caribou if the Theseus comes forward. So you're not going to get too much damage at all, as we see another caribou attempting to get stolen here. This lure is going to continue to bring caribou into its base until it finally steals one. We'll see if it's going to keep going after those in the middle of the map, in the middle of Shelty's base or not. But Hermes and Freya are the gods of choice here. 5 villages on wood for Shelty. This is something that maybe I should start adopting, is the 6 villages on food, 5 villages on wood, 4 villages on gold opener that players have been doing with Odin, because it allows you to get a whole bunch of buildings down much, much faster than if you have 4 villages on wood. And if we take another look at what's happening over here for Shelty, he's only got hunting dogs. He's not getting any technologies, just pumping out Herso here. The fact that you're Odin or Thor, you'll have pig sticker / just the Odin upgrade. So you're going to be able to gather food very, very fast. So you don't really need the 7 villages on food. Just see the Ulfsark does get sniped down there. Nice play by Murad to get that one. Dropping double stables as the Theseus going to be coming out here for Murad, as also a Hippolyta going to be coming through to boot here. So you see a longhouse or 2 getting dropped down by Shelty as the game is going to continue here. The Valkyrie, unlike against Zeus, has got some serious advantages. The Valkyrie can come in and not get bolted as one fact. Alternatively, you can deny the opposing player's centaur with this Valkyrie, though there is a Theseus here, so that's going to be a bit of a problem for the Valkyrie, as at this point, Shelty is pretending like he doesn't care. He goes for a bit of a forest fire over here, and that there is potentially one of the bigger mistakes you can make. You just gave your opponent 4 militia for the cost of 100 wood, and these militia are worth around about 90% of a hoplite. You do the math, you're looking at about 80 resources, and you paid 100, or 80 times 6, sorry, 80 times 4, and you paid only 100 resources for them. So big win there for Murad here. That's why you want to not use Forest Fire on that location. Actually, another 2 militia coming in here as well. Unfortunately, Murad wasn't paying attention. They almost got picked off by the Forest Fire. As Murad going to be poking his head in here. And Shelty on the back foot, throwing down that 3rd military building. And right now, this is a time where I would say you want to think about taking villagers off of wood. You really don't need to be making throwing axemen in this matchup. So taking villagers off of wood here, maybe leaving 2 villagers on wood so you can support houses, and putting the rest onto food, onto herdables or something like this after you get like husbandry is a really good way to play. But right now, Murad is bringing the pain in here. He has gone straight after that longhouse, taking it down already. That's absolutely brutal. We'll be seeing 1 or 2 militia getting picked off here. The centaur getting some good damage here as Shelty having to retreat back. 49 of 65 HP here. Population, I should say, against 60 population, as a couple of militia do get picked off as the units retreating back, and raiding cavalry will end up falling there as well. Nice play. Meanwhile, Shelty going to be looking around the map looking for something to raid, but right now we are seeing Murad playing incredibly safe right now. He's putting villagers onto the food, onto his herdables instead of out onto the hunt in the middle of the map. I love that play. Being safe is on this map and in this matchup for Greek is really important. And the fact that you've pushed off hunt means you're not really behind in terms of food income by doing this. And then beyond all that, if you do grab this town center a little bit later, then this food is completely safe to eat, and you can delay farming on that settlement as well. So one way to think about it, the other way to think about it, I should say, is that if you're going straight onto the herdables, you're not spending the time walking to these hunts. So while the hunt does gather faster, you're actually gathering more resources before you start gathering resources. So it's not actually as big of an advantage to be hunting as it is to be on herdables, but there is a finite amount of herdables. So that's point. But now the house is getting taken down as Murad is getting more and more aggressive here. Shelty on the back foot, 72 of 75 population. Murad 80 of 85 population, as the villagers on the wood line do get spotted here. Might be able to get 1 or 2 villager kills. It's absolutely huge for Murad. If he gets it, does get that 1 villager kill. The units over here getting chased down, as Murad going to be able to circle back up here and continue to take this fight. Meanwhile, the raiding cavalry over here are getting pushed back. The Valkyrie very low HP as well. We see the Hippocon coming in onto this position, going straight after that Herser there to allow the Centaur to get some really good damage done over here. Nice micro by Murad over here as well to pull back a couple of those raiding cavalry, but Shelty does do the refocus micro nicely here himself, continuing to take this fight. We are seeing Shelty having to pull back yet again. Meanwhile, the raiding cavalry coming back for Shelty. He definitely wants to continue taking this fight. If he can win it, it's going to be in a good position. Murad's at 75 population and Shelty is at 66, so still an advantage for Murad as those low HP raiding cavalry going down. We do see the units returning around onto these Hippocon, going after them to try and get a little bit of damage done. He does manage to do that nicely as the Herser does get picked off. Meanwhile, this gold mine, 338 gold remaining. Shelty's got to be feeling a little bit scared right now, because he knows he's not going to be able to get to the heroic age. He's going to have to continue to fight with raiding cavalry unupgraded against the Hippocon unupgraded, and that's kind of a bit of a rough fight. So We'll see how this is all going to go. Murad here, plenty of resources in the bank. 3 stables. He might want to throw down a couple more stables, throw down an armory, get himself hack armor, getting the copper mail or something like this. Could be really, really good here. Meanwhile, we see the units coming onto both of these positions over here as well, giving a good eye on the gold mines. If we take a look at what Murad's actually spotted, he's seen this gold mine, he's seen this one. He doesn't know where any other gold mines are. Meanwhile, Shelty, he's moving his dwarves up. We see the Hippocon and Centaur moving on to this position as the dwarves are going to be retreating back. He sees the gold mine is gone and knows that there is a gold starve in his grasps right now as Murad getting himself the medium Hippocon up. Still no armory through for Murad just yet, which I definitely would have liked to have seen. 1 armory into hack armor is one of the best plays you can do. So too, not a bad idea for Shelty to be going for as he does come over onto this gold mine. Unfortunately for Murad, he's not paying attention. And he's going to allow this gold to go unchecked for just a little bit. And that could be enough for Shelty to get the gold he needs to get enough units to defend said gold mine. Because right now, Shelty, he should not be allowed onto this gold mine. He does not have enough units to compete with the medium Hippocon. And Murad now going to be moving his units around. He sends 2 Hippocon in onto this position as the house is going to be getting thrown up over here. The raiding cavalry are already over here as Shelty is 87 of 85 population. He's not even able to spend the resources, let alone even if he had the resources, he's not able to spend them because he's housed. He's finally got those houses up. He'll be retreating back. 115 population of medium Hippocon coming straight in here to take this fight. It's going to be absolutely huge for Murad. Those villagers will have to be pulled here for this fight. We see more villagers coming in onto this position. The raiding cavalry attempting to take this fight as the Hippocon going to be retreating away just a little bit here as they come out here. Imagine forest fire here. That would have been much, much better. Yes, it would open up the large gold mine, but it would have been able to get a really good amount of damage done onto those Hippocon. Meanwhile, the fight continuing, the villagers getting into this fight nicely here, but getting taken down very, very quickly here as Shelty's still only 85 population, and Murad has got 800 food in the bank. He does finish up on his gold mine, but he's going to be able to move on to a second gold mine. Not really too many issues where that's concerned as the fight is still ensuing here. 108 of 115 pop. He needs to get onto this gold mine like yesterday. Lots of idle villages for Murad here, and he will have to retreat back as Shelty somehow manages to hold here as he does pull back just a little bit. And be keeping his eye or turning his eye onto the throwing axeman here as well, I would assume, as more farms starting to come down for Shelty as he is desperately trying to hold on in this game. And these houses will go down very, very quickly. But now Shelty's got himself medium rated, so maybe he's going to feel a little bit more at ease here to push in. Or defend, as we're starting to see some villagers coming through for Shelty. Murad's got a significant advantage right now in this game as the unit's going to be taking this fight somewhat. We will be seeing Murad attempting a little bit of a retreat back as the villagers kind of recognizing if they're not gathering, and he doesn't need to take a fight. He's going to get further and further ahead in terms of gold and resource. We see him on multiple different gold mines here. Just a few more berry bushes left. He could cancel those Hippocon that he's got training here and get an armor in advance. He's getting himself copper weapons. Now, this is something that, well, he's actually already got copper mail, so copper weapons is the next best upgrade to go for, but I feel like cutting the Hippocon and going heroic age would give himself just a little bit more of an advantage here. But I do like the idea to push those Hippocon up to 12 damage Hippocon to help him win this fight. 20% hack armor versus 18% hack armor. But for some reason, Murad keeps on retreating here. He should take this fight. But at this point, lots of units not actually fighting. He's letting Shelty back into this game here. Where are you going with your units? He wants to take a choke point here, as that kind of favors the raiding cavalry for some reason. I don't know what he's trying to do here, but we will be seeing Aphrodite now coming through for Murad, which might spell absolute doom for Shelty, because he is not close to the heroic age himself. He's gone farms over here. He is now over sneaking onto these caribou, so that's going to be huge. He doesn't have an armory just yet, but maybe if he has enough gold, he can retreat back to his home base and wait out Frost, cast Frost, get the gold, and then maybe be in a decent position here. As Murad is just going to be jockeying back and forth, waiting out his waiting out his heroic age. So we do see he does have that 12 damage now. And those Hippocon will go down, or won't go down very fast at all because of the upgrades that they've got. As we see a pretty brutal surround coming through by Shelty, and again Murad retreating, waiting out his curse, trying to play this as safely as he possibly can. There's the heroic age, and he will be able to turn around. I would love to see immediate production of Prodromus, which we are actually seeing as the units moving around here. We've got a whole bunch of units on the favor for Murad as well. Potentially going to make a bunch of Nemean Lion here to attempt to finish off this game, as we do see a curse getting dropped. A couple of villagers do get picked off. A couple of raiding cavalry as well getting taken down, as Murad going to happily take this fight finally. As Shelty's at 99 of 115 population, we will be seeing the Hippolyta getting taken out here, as the Hippocon will have to pull back. But now the Nemean Lion coming in with for the reinforcement is going to be a really, really big help here. We will be seeing immediately the Valkyrie going straight after that one, and now medium Prodromus coming in onto this fight, going to be a very, very big help against those raiding cavalry. But it seems like Murad has to pull back yet again. He's going to get himself an Atlanta. He's getting himself another Nemean Lion, building more of those Nemean Lions, pushing onto this position here. The Hippolyta is still going after the Valkyrie as best as she possibly can, but nice micro by Shelty to take out Hippolyta first to allow those Valkyrie to stick in here. And Shelty has somehow, some way managed to defend against that timing that Murad was trying to push in and win. Shelty is at 94 population, plenty of food income right now. He's moving around the map looking for the polar bears. These caribou are not very easily eaten because there's villagers already over here, but Murad motoring ahead, and this is definitely a problem for Shelty. He needs more food. He doesn't have this food anymore. He could come over here and attempt to eat the walrus. That's kind of the last little bit of hunt on the map. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that or not, as Shelty going to be dropping his armory here as the Prodromus returning back onto this position. As now the gold mine is a little bit exposed. We've got ourselves 3 Nemean Lions. The splash damage onto these villages, while not the same. Why do you keep retreating? Look at how many units are here. You've got Nemean Lions. Just take the fight. The raiding cavalry are going to be looking for something to take out. If they can find some villages, now there's 16 villages here. If this can find this, oh, it's so close. It's so close. He's looking for this gold mine though. There are 7 villages over here, so not a bad find, but it's a little bit unlucky not to hit those villages on that hunt there at that point. But this is dangerous right now for Shelty. He's leaving this gold mine. He's going to be moving up over onto this gold mine over here. He finds the villagers on this position. But 3 Nemean Lions. The only real counter to Nemean Lions for Norse is the Frost Giant. And these Nemeans are Nemean Rexes. Look at this upgrade. 50% extra pierce vulnerability, as well as the 20% hack vulnerability. Pushes the pierce armor up to 80%, which really doesn't do all too much. But that 20% hack vulnerability going up to, is that right? 20% hack vulnerability going up to 43% hack armor. That's a big help. Though it is an expensive upgrade, and maybe against Norse it's not that useful because your opponent's not going to be able to kill them anyways. You do see the villagers retreating away here, and the raiding cavalry coming through to get a bit of a surround. Unfortunately for Murad, Shelty not paying attention there, might not be able to cut these villagers off, as he does try, and he does manage to get a decent cut here. Going to pick off a ton of villagers. As now we've got the villagers over on this gold mine over here. We see Scardy coming through for Shelty. Absolutely huge. Murad's got himself his market up, but not yet enough resources to advance to the next stage. Raiding cavalry coming over onto this position. We can see Shelty eating a random goat in that corner there as more houses coming up. Murad definitely wants to hit the mythic age here if he can. And these Hippocons still haven't found this gold mine. Or they've found the gold mine, but they don't realize that that's where the villagers are at. More raiding cavalry coming onto this position as Murad is getting raided into the ground right now. He's got a total of 16 villagers currently working, but he's managed to click up through Artemis, and this is going to be absolutely huge. Though he's not going to be able to deny the heroic age of Shelty here. He still will be able to get some serious damage done. So Shelty needs to get himself masons straight away here. Predict that there is a mythic age coming. He hasn't noticed the market up just yet, but there's the market. He's got to have some inkling that something is on the way. So masons straight away to deny his town center from going down, and he might be in a decent position. However, the ox cart does go down. The village is going to be retreating back to their home base. Murad's sending some units over onto that location there. We're seeing some Olfsark getting trained right now to deal with those Hippocon here. Meanwhile, raiding cavalry still searching around looking for villager kills. The villagers going to be making a bit of a retreat, but the Valkyries have the line of sight, so they will spot this one here and be taking out those villagers very, very quickly, it would seem. Meanwhile, we've got ourselves a heroic age. Shelty going to be looking to grab himself this town center here as the villagers retreat back onto this location. Do we see a ox cart coming through anytime soon? Not just yet. As the units here for Shelty coming in onto this position, we do see the Prodromus coming through here to take these out. We see the Hippolyta trying to deal with those Valkyries as best as she possibly can, but Hippolyta is the real savior here. As more villagers getting taken out, but the Nemean Lions are chasing those units away. So Shelty has to pull back. We will be seeing the earthquake coming in very, very soon. This Hippocon is going to be going on a bit of a suicide mission in onto this location here. Earthquake going to be dropped. We don't see masons through just yet. So the town center will most likely go down, as well as all of these houses. That's a lot of damage done onto Shelty's base over here. As Shelty retreating back, Murad's at 88 population. Shelty is at 115 population. So he's got plenty, but he's got 30 max pop here. The problem is obviously going to be Shelty needs to build houses, and Shelty needs a way to defend against the myth units that are coming his way. As we got a Nemean line over here, we've got the Chimera checking out this gold mine over here, and they will indeed spot it. Shelty's going to be very, very unhappy about this one. The Chimera comes in, utilizing that special ability, hitting those villagers, picking off a couple of villagers straight away. 2 villagers indeed. The villagers retreating back home right now. Still no gold for Shelty. We see a temple coming up on this position. The Nemean Lions coming in over here. We'll be seeing what they can do, taking out these Olfsark as best they can, preventing the houses from coming up. Murad decides not to cast Ceasefire here, not allowing Shelty any time in this game to do anything, as the villagers jumping all onto this gold mine, trying to get as much gold as they possibly can. Olfsarks are trading back home. These units over here will clean up the majority of what Murad's got, as the Valkyrie are going to be able to clean up the Nemean Rex. No real problems here. Now more houses going to be getting dropped down, as the houses are still getting taken out. Murad is making a very, very good case for house destruction as a way to end an opponent's kind of economy and production here, as more Valkyries getting taken out over here, trying to get the good damage done in. The Valkyries, I mean, they do good damage to the Nemean Lions, but nice micro there by Shelty, pulling the Valkyrie away. 1 HP remain, not going to be enough though. Does end up falling as the units continuing to get some good damage done, as we see a Polyphemus coming in here, going to be taking out more houses in on this position, as the villagers over here for Shelty's got plenty of gold in the bank, but just no time to get these houses up here, as he's trying his darndest to do that. Meanwhile, the raiding cavalry are going to come back in, going to look to hit this gold mine in the corner. That's where the majority of the villages that Murad has are working, so he's going to at least hit that. But more buildings getting taken down. The Hersa over here will end up finishing off at least one of these Nemean Lions. There's still this other terrifying Chimera here. Meanwhile, we see the Nemean Rexes pushing off this gold mine, moving up to the top side of the map, getting a temple getting thrown up over here, potentially for some frost giants or something like this to help deal with the Chimera and the Nemean Rex and everything else. But the buildings all getting taken out, and Shelty just doesn't have that many resources left. He's got a lot of gold, but no wood here. Both players' economy is absolutely devastated in this game, as the villagers over here getting taken out. The raiding cavalry coming back in here, going to attempt to take out these villagers as best as they possibly can. Another frost giant going to be popping out here, going to be moving over here to take out this Nemean Rex here as well. As now the more villagers going to be getting taken down, they're going to start shanking away at the Nemean Rex, attempting to retreat back just a little bit here, not wanting to lose it just yet. 38 HP remaining as the Frost Giant on a bit of a warpath. As some units coming back to defend over here, we will be seeing the Frost Giants coming out of the temple, immediately getting targeted down by the Theseus, but will get dealt with fast enough here, as we also see this Polyphemus is just going to town over here. He takes out so many buildings here. If Murad keeps on moving that one around, getting the damage done, he's going to be very, very happy. But the problem for Murad here is he's got no gold. He's got no gold. He's got no villages even. Neither player have got villages. We've got like a grand total of like 20 villages here for Murad, and a grand total of 16 villages for Shelty. Both players, 0 villages, but Murad does have the advantage of being able to train villages right now. Absolutely insane. We're starting to see some Frost Giants coming out in an attempt to continue here. We see the Frost Giants swinging around onto this position. Will Murad retreat back or not? Where's the Polyphemus going? Or has it been picked off? It looks like it may have been picked off. No, it's moving up to this top location here, going after the houses. Yet again, we see the Chimeras moving in onto this position, going to be looking to take out these villages. This could be game ending if Murad can take those down. And he's not yet looking onto this position. The village is currently sitting idle here for some reason. As the Chimera come through, the village is going to be retreating away. Will we be seeing some sort of a split? Not just yet. We see the special ability getting done onto these villages. So many getting taken out. 4 villages going down as the villagers retreating away. That is the remainder of Shelty's economy here. Villagers getting taken down in the main base of Murad. Both players with next to 0 villages in this game, but the 3 heroes of Murad coming in clutch here to take out these Frost Giants. Going to be absolutely huge. We see the special ability coming in here as well by the Chimera to take out those, or to finish off those Frost Giants. The villagers going to be sitting here thinking, why are we fighting right now? We should be gathering, but there's nowhere to gather here, as we see one villager getting pounded by that Polyphemus, bashed away and just flying to its death there. No units left in the main base. No units over here. Shelty with nothing left in the tank. Just a few resources to build some Frost Giants. And in that moment, the Chimeras say, thank you very much. GG. Lights out here. Murad manages to take this one with some of the most clutch play in recent memory here. An absolute insane game. The risking it all on that mythic gauge to earthquake the town, to take out all those houses, cause absolute mayhem for Shelty. Shelty just not able to get his houses back up, lost so many villages, and wasn't able to stabilize after it all, even after killing off Murad's economy however many times over. Absolutely insane play by Murad. Really well played, and unfortunate for Shelty not to be able to get the dub here. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.